Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Star vs. the Force of Evil, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Michelle Anderer.
Hey.
Andy Potter.
Hello.
And Steve Zeck.
Hello.
Today, Michelle, Andy, Steve, and I are getting into Night 4 of Starvember, the Star vs. the Force of Evil 2-week marathon event every Monday to Thursday. For this week and next week. It is our fourth Starvember podcast where we are going to be talking Star vs. the Force of Evil every night here on the Overly Animated Podcast. Find us at overlyanimated.com or search for Overly Animated Star on iTunes. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to us there as well to not miss any of our daily Star episode coverage. Today it's Lint Catcher and Trial by Squire. That aired tonight at 8 on Disney XD and also was up in the app in the morning, as always, the Watch Disney app. So, make sure you've seen these two episodes. Spoilers for Lint Catcher, Trial by Squire, and all previous episodes of Star. Make sure to check out our previous Starvember podcasts as well. Let's get into these two. Michelle, what are your overall thoughts on these episodes?
These episodes were fine. I don't know. These by no means are bad episodes, but I wasn't super in love with either of them. I think I liked Trial by Squire a bit more than Lint Catcher. Also, side note, is laundry gonna be like an important plot point of this season? Because it seems like we're starting to spend a lot of time with the laundry guy.
I think it already is, yeah.
Yeah, so if he's gonna be a recurring character, I hope there's gonna be a reason for that outside of it just being like very silly. But yeah, I mean, I like these episodes. I thought they were fine, but I'm hoping other people can convince me that they're either really great or really bad, because I don't feel good about feeling so meh on this show, because that's not normal for me. So yeah, that is kind of where I am right now, though. It's like it's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah, exactly. We want strong takes for the podcast.
Yeah,
so meh is the worst case scenario. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I like that. Convince me to hate it, says Michelle. Okay, Andy, what are your thoughts on the episodes?
In terms of quality, I'm kind of in the same place as Michelle. These are kind of just fine episodes. There's nothing really new or incredible going on in these episodes. But I mean, we do get Starco back. We get them together, and there's a lot of drama and a lot of awkwardness.
You're right, a perfect thing to hate.
Andy,
thank you,
okay,
Andy.
Michelle.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of disrespect, Michelle, right now. You just Starco. So this is like not
That's
acceptable
not
behavior for the
That's
podcast. This is I am very offended by this, Michelle.
She's not with him though. We got that whole Tom thing, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Okay, continue, Andy.
The fighting is starting early. This is great. Also, there was I lost my train of thought to that fight. Just that Starco's back, and that's good. Their interactions are always really fun. They're clearly best friends, and that hasn't changed, even though Star thought it had for a little bit. And I think the Squire episode was a little worse than the first one. Those are my off the top of my head thoughts about this episode.
Okay, Andy likes 1/2, and also meh-ish, but Starco. Yep. Good.
Yeah.
Good. At least someone appreciates Starco. Okay, Steve, do you appreciate Starco, and what are your thoughts on these two episodes?
That's loaded.
Okay.
You already influenced his answer.
Okay. I like these two episodes. I like in Lint Catcher how Marco's ego quickly got bursted after the ego trip he went on in yesterday's episode. So I thought that was much deserved. But yeah, it's great to see Star and Marco together, and they gotten back together so quickly. I thought we were going to have like a volume 4 of Ruby here, but no, thank God you don't do that.
No, not this show.
Yeah.
I am disappointed though we did not see the La Resistance in this episode, because I thought they'd be super hyped to see Marco again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. As for what's the other one? Squire.
Trial by Squire. Yes.
Trial by Squire. Good episode titles. Trial by Squire. That's an interesting take episode. At first I thought they were going for like a kind of like a Black Friday kind of parody. And then I thought it was then when I realized they were just picking on Marco, I thought it was going to be maybe a hazing episode, but then it go another direction, and personally, I like this. I like Higgs, this new character. He's kind of interesting. We get more on her later, I guess, but that was a all right episode. Though I probably like Lint, the first one better because it definitely felt more plot movement. This one felt like it could have been like a season 1 episode. I don't know, it just felt like that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with Steve. I think that Trial by Squire feels like an episode that we've moved on from with this show. It's just like a worse version of Quest By, and I think that Quest By episode was called Quest By, and that was a good episode, but definitely disappointed by Trial by Squire and also by Lint Catcher, to be honest. I think these are fine episodes. I'm basically agree with Michelle. Lint Catcher is another plot movement episode. I've been talking about this all week on the podcast, how the show is very much just having episodes that advance the narrative and not kind of stopping for any characterization. Although Trial by Squire was a full characterization episode and it did not really succeed that well. But I like a lot of what we got into in Lint Catcher. It's kind of uncomfortable as a Starco shipper to see, but it was like necessary given what we've done with the plot. Certainly not sympathetic Marco continues, and it's an interesting take on his character. The fact that Marco's just this constantly sympathetic and likable character on the show, and over the past 2 episodes he's just been not great, and he's fine here, and we're getting there eventually, but I think that we kind of end up in an interesting place with these 2 episodes, and I'm not thrilled with the direction of Starco just as a fan, but I think it's maybe an interesting narrative to take. But yeah, give me any of the previous 3 days over this day of episodes, honestly, and that's surprising to me because we finally got Star and Marco together, and it just resulted in potentially worse episodes than the Tom episodes, so I'm kind of surprised at that. But at the same time, they're still good. I don't love the second one, but it's not bad or anything. So yeah, it's fine.
Just really quick, I remember my last thought before the anger and fighting started. This is the first episode of this event that doesn't have Ponyhead.
Mm-hmm.
It is. That was noticeable at the end. I realized, it seemed like something was missing. Like, I feel like one of these episodes could have been improved by Ponyhead.
Yeah, I'm looking at my outline. I basically have 0 quoted lines for these 2 episodes. There's just no standout funny lines. And the Ponyhead episodes, there's just tons of them. So I just have to write down all the great Ponyhead quotes. But yeah, nothing really here to talk about quote-wise. Yeah. So I think the previous 3 we've started with the second episode. That's been the more consequential one. I definitely want to start with Lint Catcher here. I don't have a ton of topics to get into in Trial by Squire. I assume that discussion will be dominated by the Higgs talk.
Yeah, probably.
So let's talk the Starco reunion in Lint Catcher. And Star had moved on in the 4 days of this event, and but now Marco's back in her life. He walks in on Tom and Star's burrito date. I was very surprised and but what word am I looking for? Bewildered, betrayed. I was betrayed by the burrito song because we saw the burrito song in the preview, and it was great. I love this burrito song, and it is a Tom Star thing. No, that's not acceptable.
Their special song now.
Yeah, oh my god! And Tom was singing it. I was horrified.
Oh man, you're accidentally a Tom Star shipper, Dylan.
I know you can't just trick me, Disney, with the putting a thing in out of context Tom Star moment in the preview. Okay, but yeah, Tom's here for like 5 seconds, but really, he's immediately put basically exactly what we talked about last podcast. Tom and Star together. Oh, it's just it's just a thing to have Marco to react to when he gets back, and now Tom's not even important anymore.
But he doesn't like react to it that much. Like, I still don't understand why we did the Tom stuff. There wasn't even that big of a reaction.
Yeah, it's because
I'm happy to see him. He's like his bro. Like,
bro.
Yeah. He was excited to see Marco.
He's ready to hug him before those guards showed up.
Yeah. It's I guess it's more about Marco's reaction than Tom's reaction. I think Tom is not that important in this equation. It's more just like how Tom's going to affect are we going to have Marco jealousy now going forward? We didn't really get it this episode though.
I hope not.
Why? Why?
Where's the okay? We haven't seen Buffrog the entire season.
Okay,
basically.
why is that your
thing? I don't care about this castle.
Really,
nonsense
you want to see Buffrog?
And their feelings anymore. I want to get into the actual plot points.
Buffrog is not the actual plot points. Buffrog is a fluff character.
He represents all monsters.
Okay.
We'll get there.
I think what Michelle's saying is that Buffrog is better than Starco somehow.
Yeah, that's what she's saying, and it's just a terrible take. It's a horrible.
Oh man.
Okay. But yeah, it's basically the Marco just shows up unannounced, and Star's not happy with it, and it's like, how do we accommodate Marco? How does Marco fit back into Star's new life?
Throw him in the laundry room. That'll work.
Yeah, that's what she's just like. Throw him in the laundry room. So, yeah, I guess let's start with the Star's reaction to Marco coming back, which was, I guess she was happy but worried about how he would fit in his life. Ultimately, I wanted him to stay, but yeah, Michelle, how do you think Star reacted here?
It seemed kind of like awkward. It was like, oh hey, it was cute. I will say it was cute at first. She was like, oh Marco, and she's like, wait, it's Marco. I haven't seen him in forever. And then she like gets all excited. But I mean, yeah, it seemed like she didn't quite know how to react. And the fact it did seem to bother her a lot that he didn't like give her a heads up, because she talks about that later. But I think overall she was happy to see him. Mixed feelings though.
Yeah. It definitely seemed like mixed feelings. Andy, how do you think the show presented Star's reaction to Marco?
Yeah, I definitely think that it was a moment of like she thought she had her life in order without Marco in it anymore, and suddenly Marco's there without warning, and she did not like that. She thought she was on a road to forgetting about Marco, to doing stuff else with her life, and then Marco jumps back in, and she is kind of just thrown completely off course for this episode. And I think it was done well, and I completely understand this reaction from Star. I definitely had it when people do stuff and just appear, and it's like I'm happy to see you, but like I have no plans, and I'm not ready to accommodate you in any way. And that's kind of the reaction she has. But there's also this underlying thing of like, I just forgot about you to go date Tom. Like that's what I just did this. Why are you back again?
Yeah. The episode doesn't really explicitly do that, but I agree. That's kind of like a subtext factor to this, which is, because you have to remember she's in the getting over Marco period. And
yeah, she just had the hoodie thing happen not too many episodes ago, and that was a big deal, and already he's back.
Yeah, she says to Eclipse, Eclipse is like, it's a boy, and she's like, oh, it's not like that. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
Steve, do you understand? Is it like relatable to what Star's reaction was to Marco here?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. I thought like Star just went through this mini like arc of getting over Marco, and when she's finally like over him, I'm not forget him, over him. There's a difference there. Marco goes right back into her life. And I can see why she's a little frustrated by that, because she thought she buried that part behind her. And she's trying to move on. And then Marco comes back. And then, of course, later, of course, she'll find out that he's no longer in a relationship, asking about whether she and Tom is together. So maybe I could see her getting a little like, you got some nerve. Now you want me.
Yeah.
Now you want.
Yeah, I don't know if we got that specifically.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Star's too innocent to think like that, but Yeah,
definitely that type of perspective. Yeah. Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what I waited for to want to see is Eclipse giving Star advice for relationship advice. That was a highlight. That was like one of my Eclipse wish list. So that's off my list.
Oh, that was you specifically wanted Eclipse giving Starco advice.
Well, I want her to like give Star advice.
Star life advice.
Personal advice, magical advice. Maybe become her new Glossaric.
Ooh.
Whoa.
You know.
New Glosswork. I'm all about replacing. Yeah, no Glosswork here. Yeah, where'd he go?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's like that's like Star's child. Where did Glosswork go?
God.
More like his dog.
Yeah, dog/kid. Yeah, where? Yeah. Not here. Okay. I didn't even think of. To be honest, I have not thought the word Glosswork today until Steve said it. So, or someone said that. So, yeah, not just didn't even factor in this episode. Here's why this reaction from Star does not work.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell us why, Dylan.
Right.
So it's fine. It's great. It's completely fine how it's presented within the episode. Her emotional state, how she reacts to everything. I think that's completely fine. But it's only been 5 or 6 episodes since Scent of a Hoodie when she was still obsessing over him. I get that more time has passed in universe. But, 1, it's only been a few episodes, and 2, this is really hurt by the bomb format because it's only been 3 or 2 days, like, for us. So, I don't get, this is just a completely different Star. This seems like a year later. And we just don't get the sense from the show at all. It's just, Stars definitely still, has some latent feelings going on, and that's gonna come to the surface and stuff. But I don't think the show presented the elapsed time very well. I think we are focusing on, maybe rather than focusing on Tom, we could have, had some sort of clearer time lapse. I also don't think this new Star was really presented well. We've talked about this before, but the show has like dropped this line once or twice. But it's never been a real plot point, which is that Star's specifically trying to focus on being a better princess. And I just haven't seen her do that really in the show. So I don't really get the new mindset. It's not really been presented to me. So I just don't think this specific thing works really in the context of the season.
It has shown in one way I agree with what you said, Dylan, but I think her being a better princess has shown itself in one way in the show, specifically these episodes, in that her spells are a lot more calm. Like they're not as like crazy and explosive. Like she very carefully dragged Marco out from underneath those pile of boxes in the Squire episode. Like we would have never seen that in the last 2 seasons, her very carefully using spells like that. And I think that is some kind of development that's just not really been talked about. Like, is this new? Is she training in some way? Because I'm not sure, but that definitely wasn't something I've seen her do before, do a spell that carefully.
That's a great point, Andy. That's like a very subtle thing the show is doing this episode. And I noticed it when she was making Marco's new room, because she used the same spell that I loved the sad line read on from Scent of a Hoodie. And she was just very sedated when she said it. And that's not how Star typically casts spells. So yeah, I think that's a great point here. But yeah, it's like subtle things like that. And I don't know. I wish the show had focused on it. I don't know why we needed Tom.
I think Star is probably starting to follow in her mom's footsteps right now, and he's going down that path. And we assume we might come to like a crossroads to see whether she'll continue down that path or not, or be her own person. Right,
and that's everything Star hates. So, why? Why is she doing this? I don't really get it.
One word: toffee. Toffee, that battle with Toffee may have changed her.
Yeah, because Toffee scarred her. I guess so, but I don't know. Why is she going down the moon route? I don't know. Michelle, what's your take on my this is too fast take?
I mean, I do think it's too fast, and I think it's an issue of like she keeps saying that she has to be like a princess now and focus on that, but we haven't really seen her do a lot of that, because we've seen her, fight a Lint monster and hang around the castle and be sad and then start dating Tom. And then she's like helping Tom be a squire, or helping Marco be a squire. And that's great. But like, I don't see how this is like helping her be a better princess or trained to be a queen. If she was like talking to other princesses or talking to her mom more to like learn things, that would be something. But it's kind of her just going off and not really doing anything important. So it doesn't feel like she is doing what she says she wants to be doing, too. It's more of a, like, telling than showing, I guess, of what she keeps saying she wants to do instead of actually doing it. I think that's why I feel underwhelmed mostly right now.
Yeah, I really agree. The show is just telling us, and it hasn't shown us at all, this new Star attitude. And, I think they probably don't want to spend that much time on it because they're going to go against it soon. But then just don't.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, like we're just going to revert back to the way before because that's actual Star. But I don't know why we needed to structure this week like it was. Anyway, whatever. Let's look at this from the Marco perspective because as much as I've been criticizing Tom and, calling out Tom's problematic behaviors with regards to Star, I think this popping in unannounced thing from Marco was pretty terrible. Like, it's a pretty bad thing to do to someone, is to just show up and start in Muni like this. Really, really should have called ahead to Star, as was said several times in the episode, but it's just a really unsympathetic action, I think, from Marco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I guess it makes sense given the weird state he was in last episode, but I didn't like not liking something Marco did to this extent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like unsympathetic Marco.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andy?
I mean, I agree. There's not really much else to say. This was just really a jerky thing to do. Like, just to throw your bag into someone's room, like, I'm here. Yeah, you have to accommodate me and everything that it comes with that. And it's just like, Marco, that's not how this works. That's like not. I know Star kind of did that, but it was your parents who accepted it when it happened, not Star. Like you yourself. You know what I mean? It's not how this works.
And Marco's usually so thoughtful. It just seems weird that he would just decide that that's okay without letting Star know about it.
I think it would have been more acceptable if he would have came in through like the front door, like announced like official like visitor to the palace. And actually, in the throne room and meet like with River and Moon, since River was the one who kind of left that invitation, it'd be at least more. Even if you're not going to call ahead, at least do the proper avenues, the proper method of entering a royal castle, and not just off the Star's room.
Yeah. I think that's a great point, Steve, because he's accepting River's invitation, so it somewhat makes sense for him to just go into the. But no, he went right into Star's room.
To Star's room, yeah.
That's not cool. So I didn't like it. I do think I guess it did seem realistic given Marco's mental state. Last episode, but
But as bad as Marco was in this episode, what he did. Probably a little more improvement over the previous episode, at least the first half of the episode, when he was such a jerk. He's such a snob.
Yeah, when he was it continues to be very self-centered here, but probably slowly getting better from the Muni state he was in on Earth. He pops in, Star's conflicted about it, but ultimately the result is that he's staying in the castle. Star recreates his room. I guess I was asking yesterday where he's staying. I guess I should have seen this coming. He just makes the room. Yeah, sure.
I thought it would have been cool. Him and Roberius would have been roommates.
Yeah,
but
they should have. Yeah, why isn't he staying with La Resistance in the vents? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Why doesn't he live in the vents?
I wanted those guys to come be in this episode. That's such a disappointment because I expected them to be a little appearance.
Yeah, they were in Sense of a Hoodie and they were not here. So
yeah.
It was, interesting.
Stab them as Marco's his new crew.
Yeah. We go through this whole thing of him. Is he going to be Lavabo's Squire? And then Star makes him her Squire at the end. In typical Star fashion, the ending climax scene of the episode was gorgeous. Her like knighting him, I think was really gorgeously animated. And that was a really great scene. So, I have problems with the setup here, and we'll talk about that more next episode. But, it was a good scene. Definitely the big Starco moment, the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle, you were obviously feeling a Starco at the end.
She asked him to pledge everlasting friendship to her, so I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
yes, that is the other thing I've written down. She says, "You have to be my Squire, be my very best friends forever."
Very best friends.
Yeah, we're back to the just friends part of
exactly
of Starco.
Back there.
Yeah. Do we know Marco's middle name was Ubaldo? I think we probably knew that, but.
We probably did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that sequence at the end. Other elements of the episode. We talked about already. Star's talk with Eclipso. We're still kind of keeping Eclipse in the back of our minds.
Yeah, she was barely there.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, you want to feed the birds too? Here you go." I'll just chill next to you.
Star ate the bird seed.
I know that wasn't popcorn.
Yeah.
I love that. There's a clips I want to see. It's just comic relief.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing Eclipse in this role. We're all assuming that something's gonna come with her soon, but we've gone through half the event now. So half the event and she's fine still. So where's evil Eclipse?
Could
not yet.
I wonder if she maybe accomplished that, has her evil side hidden and is gonna do a spell to turn her evil. I don't know.
I wonder if her monster Boo is still alive and if she's gonna go on a quest to find his descendants or something. Because she was frozen for a while.
Yeah, I assume he's not alive.
Care? Did she not care about that? I'd be pretty bummed.
Yeah.
Well, I do want a flashback story about that. I
would love a flashback for Eclipse.
Yeah.
Monster Boo is my new favorite phrase.
It's true though, and we've only had hints about him.
I think he's
really cool.
I think he's dead. I think he's dead. But
I wish they would confirm or deny. Because she's got nothing else going on. She might as well go look for him.
She's chained up here.
Besides that, she can kind of move around with that chain on. Yeah, really slowly.
She probably is breaking out of the chain and doing stuff secretly. I think maybe that'll be a reveal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. She's way too chill otherwise.
Yeah. But Marco's here and Star Squire. Other things from the episode, Lavabo. Yep, he was here again, and I think this is answering Michelle's point in the beginning. I think this is the last time we'll see Lavabo. I think we've written him out of the show.
I don't know, man. It's been a couple. What if he comes back? I would be fine without him. I'm not convinced we're done with him.
He's Eclipse's lawyer, obviously.
Yeah,
he's in cahoots with Eclipse, so that'd be a pretty good twist.
He's evil. Yep, evil Lavabo. The action climax, the episode, the fight with the lint inside the lint catcher. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I don't really have any takeaways from it, but it was well storyboarded and stuff. I guess the takeaway is at the end. Marco Star bolts out of the dryer with Marco on her back or something. It was great. So that's the Starco moments. We have to take them where we're coming. It's been rough this week from the Starco's perspective. We had Jarko, we had Tomko, we had Tom Star, no Tomko. We need the Tomko though. When's that coming?
We need to make this a full quadrangle.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think so.
All the connections.
Marco's cape was just a meat blanket. Thoughts on that?
Oh, that was great.
Great. Especially given how big head Marco had before. That's a good payoff.
Yeah. I get. Yeah, I don't like that this big intro moment was just just this, but it's a vehicle for deflating Marco's ego in that regard. Yeah. I guess the Star and Marco talk as they're going down the stairs. Marco says Jackie broke up with him, and yes,
he didn't really say that.
What do you mean he did?
Or at least he didn't. I don't think he fully communicated to Star very well. I don't know if Star got that.
Well, Star wasn't necessarily super listening, but he definitely said she broke up with me.
Yeah, she broke up with him.
Oh, did he actually? I might have missed that.
Yeah, she said
he
that.
Did. At first, he was like,
it's confirmed Jarko breakup. Yeah, Michelle, what was your reaction to the Jarko breakup?
I mean, yeah, of course. Because Jackie's only really been a plot point when it had to do with Star, really. In that kind of triangle, and now that all has been confessed, I had a strong suspicion it was only a matter of time before they broke up. And to have Jackie do it makes a lot of sense. She's a little more aware of how Marco feels than he probably does, and she saw enough evidence in how he was acting and what he was saying to know that it was not gonna be a good idea to stay there. So I'm glad, she left very gracefully. Not everyone can say that about breakups. So I wish her well. I think she can do better.
Wish Jackie well. Okay. Better. Wow. Yeah. Can do better than Marco. Wow.
Well, I mean, in a relationship with Marco and Marco likes Star, she can do better.
Jackie deserves
She's pretty
better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Marco says, "Are you and Tom?" And Star says, "Yep." And that's it.
Yep.
So
she says it super fast and then just runs down the stairs.
So that's been addressed. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into Trial by Squire. I only really have two topics for this one. The first one is so Marco, kind of the conflict here. Marco wants to be this good Squire for Star, and Star just wants Marco there to have fun with her. And then at the end, the conclusion is the point of being Star's Squire is to do silly stuff. Yeah, what'd you think of the place we reached, Michelle, at the end of this episode?
I mean, what the heck? Star's been saying this whole time she wants to be like a stronger, like more mature queen, but then like this, she wants to mess around. How's that gonna help the kingdom? I'm fine with either Star. Personally, I would rather have silly Star than super serious Star who never has fun. But it's like she's not quite committing to either thing, so I'm just really confused. What are you doing, show? Which Star do you want to do?
Well, I disagree. I think Star doing stuff like that makes a good princess. Is you gotta mingle with the commoners, with the people.
She's not good at the.
I don't know if that was the point of this, but
well, the knights. She's a princess. They're knights and squires. They're still below her.
None of the knights and squires just.
They're not like peasants.
They don't. None of them like comment on it being Princess Star. They're just.
Yeah, that was the weird part. Like there was a clear moment at the very end of the episode where the knight could have said, "Of course, princess," or something like that. But no, there was.
Don't they serve her? Like, isn't?
Yeah.
But they don't care. They're still going to sabotage them.
They protected her just last episode in her room.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. This is a shopping mall.
Yeah, this episode was just really nonsensical. That was like one of the biggest reasons why. So I think the perspective of Star on this, Michelle, is that she wants to do. She wants both. Like things that she wants. She wants to like be a better princess, and Marco represents her like, okay, I can still have fun, and that's all I want Marco here for is to have fun with him.
Right. Okay. So he is her new source of fun.
Yeah. So he's like she'll still have serious duties, but Marco's job is to make sure that she's not miserable being a princess, and just
that makes more sense. I would be fine with that.
Wait, I just thought of something. What if Eclipso's monster friend was her little like play thing just for fun?
Oh,
so
okay.
Star is kind of those footsteps.
So okay,
that'd be
an interesting parallel because if we related Marco in Star's current dynamic to maybe the monster was some sort of knight for Eclipse. I think that'd be interesting. But let me give you my take on this dynamic that we established in Trial by Squire. I think this is a super unhealthy dynamic.
Okay, go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty evident. Okay, I mean, it's not that evident, but I don't like unhealthy Starco. This is unhealthy because Star has accepted Marco back into her life, but boxed him into a specific thing that she wants. She wants to do silly things with Marco, and that's Marco's purpose. And Marco has nothing in Muni now. He has no drive. He wants to be this knight and he wants to be a squire, and that's his new big thing that he's going for. Star is sitting here trying to be a better princess, and Marco is like, okay, I'm going to try to be a squire, become a knight. But Star is basically saying like, no, you only serve to have fun with me. And I'm not blaming Star for this, but I just think this is a very unhealthy state for Marco to be in, to just have nothing other than his dynamic with Star. And it's definitely going to be a source of further conflict because Marco's either going to want to do, like this episode, non-Star things, and Star's like, no, your purpose is to have fun with me, or that's just going to make him really really committed and obsessed with Star if Star is the only element of his life now on Muni.
Yeah.
And then he's going to fall in love with her, and she's still going to be with Tom because, he has nothing else. Literally, Marco just has nothing else now in Muni other than Star, and I think that's just very unhealthy for both of them.
Also,
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, so clearly maybe the knights and the other squires see that too. That's why they don't respect him as one of them.
I don't know if Higgs was sitting here thinking out the relationship dynamics like that. But
she was
what is going on here?
I get what you're saying. That was a sense of it. He's basically just Star's pet or something, and not a legit squire. Yeah, that's kind of what Higgs was getting at. Yeah. What do you think about this, Andy?
I also think this could lead to maybe episodes where Star's not in the castle and Marco realizes I literally have nothing to do. Yes. And that could be the actual thing that pushes this forward. We could have an episode where Marco doesn't have Star and realizes that he's not there for anything. because that's, well, like you said, there's nothing here for him anymore. And that is going to lead to that has to lead to some kind of conflict soon. Like, Marco has nothing. He has nothing to do here. That's just it.
Yeah, it's like
that's a good point. Yeah, if he's like sitting around twiddling his thumbs, he could discover, like, maybe he interacts with the townspeople, like the commoners. Maybe he interacts with monsters. Maybe he finds out more lore about, like, you know, the history of Star's family. I think that's true. If he ends up being alone and bored, I think it'll lead to something interesting. Maybe he'll mess around with Glossaric. I think there are actually a lot of avenues he could. He might though. He doesn't know about Glossaric yet, right? No, so that's gonna happen eventually. Sure. That meeting.
He'll be as happy as Dylan to see him again.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were gonna say he was gonna interact with like Eclipso, like, oh, that'd be interesting.
Oh no, that would be interesting too. Definitely.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that Marco interacting with Eclipso could be good, but yeah, and I guess so. I don't blame Star for this. So I understand what Star's doing. It's like, how do I deal with Marco being back in my life? This was he represents my old life, and I'm trying this new life now. Okay, I'll have him serve the specific role of I can have both, and that's like Marco's job. But this is just, it's not healthy to have two people to just box someone up and have that segment them into your life. Marco needs to be like a full-fledged person, and also have fun with Star and interact with Star, but also have other things to go to and have his own life. And I think presumably they'll soon come to this realization. And I think it could result in Marco being bored and wandering off and doing things. It could result in us doing this role reversal and having Marco be in love with Star now and Star not anymore. But either way, they don't know any better. They're 14 and this is not happy for either of them in this situation. Not happy Starco going on.
Like, and also in Star's defense, Marco has some of the onus here. He should realize this is a bad idea, and he doesn't because he doesn't have the experience. Like, not all of this is on Star.
No, and I don't blame Star at all.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, there's multiple reasons why she's not really at fault here. They're both kids, and they don't know that this is a bad idea yet.
It's actually completely Marco's fault for just showing up in Star's room in the first place. Like, this is the result of that. Like, Star did something. Star just reacted to that event, and it wasn't a great reaction ultimately. But if Marco said, okay, I'll come and I'll go to school here, or I'll come and I'll get a job, and like had things set up, and then I'll say, that would have been better.
I think a better reaction, honestly, to this episode was that he just needed to buy princess stuff for her instead of knight stuff, instead of buying quote-unquote silly things. Like, that would have been the better way to do this. Like, give him a purpose. Like, even if it is still Star, give him, like, a purpose of, like, helping her get things that she needs as a princess instead of helping her get things she needs as a knight. Like, that would have been at least a little better, I think, than this end we got.
And is Star going to be a knight now?
I think she was pretty clear that she wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just the plot just has no purpose for anything because it's she's not a knight and this was all just kind of nonsense. But not that we're not allowed to have nonsense, but nothing here is going to have any effect on anything, basically. And that's why I'm focusing on the relationship dynamics. I think that we are fully in the Starco drama phase of the show still. I know things seem fine in these two episodes, and it seems like, okay, they're back and they're happy with each other, and Marco's doing silly things with Star, and it's gonna be great. But I think this is still a Starco drama, and I think we're gonna very quickly get back into this relationship drama with Star and Tom, and we need to. There's a reason we did something with that. Marco will get jealous.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, there's a better reason than just that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what could there be better?
Whether it's the Tom Spiracy, but
okay, we'll get there. But yeah, it's things are gonna break down soon because things we're seemingly happy here, but I feel like just very easily beneath the surface, things are not great in Starcoville. And to be honest, I'd bring on the full on drama. I'd prefer that than this unhealthy Starco dynamic. Like I want the jealousy and that one of them wanting to be with the other one. This is just nonsense right now. So I think
this is a weird simmering.
Yeah, it's simmering. Weird simmering. And I think like Monday, it's gonna blow over like very fast. It's gonna, or not blow over, but like blow up. Like it'll be very quickly happen.
Okay.
Which could be good or bad depending how they do it. But I'm not really like I don't have much faith in them right now because I'm just not sure what they're doing with anybody's emotions right now.
Exactly. That's the thing. I don't know where anything's gonna go. I mean, hey, her and Tom hooked up pretty fast too. Honestly, I didn't see that coming so soon after the last couple episodes. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it will be over fast, but then it won't. I don't know. I'd rather if they wanted this to really mean something for the characters, they should spend time doing it. But as it is now, it just feels really kind of rushed and weird, and I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, we'll see where we're going soon, but for now, it's a weird place to be. Okay, Steve, we're kind of on this topic, so very, very quickly, please present us the Tomspiracy.
Well, the Tomspiracy is pretty much when Star told Tom, me and Marco, not a thing, that Tom had a little bit of relapse, and in yesterday's episode, that's kind of a setup to trying to get closer to Star, that he intentionally told Ponyhead about this, knowing that she would blab to Star about this. And when Star confronted Tom, she never mentioned anything about Ponyhead, and the first thing Tom said was, well, don't listen to Ponyhead. When did Star mention Ponyhead?
I mean, how else would she have found out, though? Yeah. Ponyhead's the only one who knew.
And I'm not saying if he did this, that makes him a bad person. I'm just saying he's a teenager, just like that. They make these dumb schemes all the time.
Yeah, so basically the Tomspiracy, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, seemingly Tom's like, oh, I don't care, and then just happened to get back with Star just kind of by Star's desire or something. And Steve is saying Tom set this all up. He really wanted to be a Star all along.
Tom is the mastermind.
Well, here's the thing. This is exactly what Tom did every single other time he was on the show, is Tomspiracy type actions. So this is very much in line. Like, all his motivation is getting back with Star, and he has schemes to get to that point. Like, the show has done this before.
And even
that's why it doesn't make sense, though. Like, why would we still be treading this in season 3? That'd be such a one-note thing for him to do as a character.
Well, the thing is, though, it's still part of his character, development that, he's trying to change. He's trying to change for better, but, realistically, sometimes you stumble. You take a few steps back, like Zuko and Crossword of Destiny. Sometimes you take those little steps back before you can move forward and get a better person.
If you use Crossroads of Destiny as like a reasoning for any argument, then it legitimizes it to a certain extent. But
yeah.
I don't know about that.
But I thought we talked about this specifically in, I think it was Mr. Candle Cares, because Tom and Marco had like that ping pong game.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought we had this specific talk with Tom about how this was wrong.
Okay, so you both think that we've moved on and Tom's a better person, Michelle.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily
not that he's a better person, but that whatever he's going through with his anger management is different than the Star relationship stuff. Like, Tom can go on his journey to be a better person, and that involves being nicer and being more in control of his emotions and making better decisions for his life. That doesn't just mean falling in love with Star and trying to get her to be with him. I think those can be different things.
Maybe it's just the Tom hate talking. Maybe it's
all right. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe it's just the Tom hate talking, but I'm kind of buying the Tomspiracy, Steve. I'm kind of buying it. Here's why. I think that we need to break Tom and Star up somehow very soon. So there's a few ways we could do this. This is one of them. It could be that Tom was being a jerk behind her back the whole time. This is a very easy way to get Tom out of the picture.
That's so lazy. I don't want to believe that the show is just going to do that.
Or Tom just leaves Star for another girl. Or
maybe you just find out it doesn't work. We haven't really seen them interact outside the burrito thing. So who knows?
Yeah, it could be that Marco's feelings or Star's feelings for Marco resurge, and Tom's not okay with that. Yeah, there's a few ways to do this. I think Tomspiracy, Tom being behind, scheming, but to get Star back the whole time. This is a very much for a typical show. This is very much a thing that's in play.
Well, I didn't say the whole time. I'm saying towards the tail end of Club Snub, when Star said that me and Marco are not together, that's when it started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's possible. Okay. Let's move from to a different Steve friendly topic. We got to talk about the other Squires. This is the only other thing I want to talk about in this episode, which is
Higgs.
We had Higgs, Baby Man, and Old Guy, and
Baby Man, love that name.
And then we had Lady Whoozits, Sir Dashing of Muzzleton, and Sir Stabby as the knights.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I thought Sir Stabby was like the monster, I was really excited.
Yeah,
But then
so
it
was
was just
I.
a handsome man.
I was really
Okay.
excited.
Yeah, I was like, Sir Stabby's like a reptile. That's awesome. Oh no, it's just a hot guy. Okay.
Yeah, but Star was into the hot guys. Star was
That's
really
true.
into
She
the hot
was.
guys.
He's like, call me.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I think he was just saying call me. I don't think he was looking at Star. I think he was just saying call me in general, because that's just his general state.
Anyone call him.
Yeah, I think
he's
I
open.
think that's what they're going for. Yeah, Lady Whoozits was in the previous episode too. She's cool. She's definitely the favorite, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
But we gotta talk Higgs. Because Higgs is the one of the Squires that stands out. Higgs voiced by Lauren Lapkus, which I did not get from the first episode, but now that I know that, I love Higgs. So, Steve is the president of the Higgs fan club. Please sell us on why Higgs is great.
Okay, Higgs, great. I'll tell you. Higgs. First of all, I think Higgs could be an interesting character in this Marco Squire thing. And being a fan of anime, I love the thing about anime is sometimes you have these rivals, and I like this idea of Marco and Higgs sort of being these rivals, pretty much, to try to get to the top in the world of knighthood. Also, I just love Higgs' personality. She has that moxie. She has so much potential. She's just great. She kind of, if I tell you though, if she did not have a different skin tone, I'd say she could be Fool Duke's sister. But no, it can't be. But she could be related to the Mine, and I thought that'd be great if she relates to some of those type of characters. I give her a little chip on her shoulder, more like sort of interesting backstory. But I do think though there's going to be a big Marco Higgs episode when they're going to bond, or at least put aside their differences. And I think by the end of next week, Higgs and all the other Squires and Knights, they are going to respect Marco. I do think that for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I love Higgs. She's not on the same level as Jana. She still has some work to
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's even one episode.
But off to a good start. I guess she could be the Muni version of Jana, because Jana always sort of irritated Marco, so I guess it could be that way too. Though we already have Ponyhead here though, so
yeah. So the thing with Higgs, I'm all about liking these female characters who are just terrible. Like this is
she's so scrappy. It's great.
Yeah, she's scrappy and she gets some sympathetic moments, but I don't know what reason is there for me to care about Higgs at all. I don't know if the episode gives me anything.
But I do interesting the way her knight kind of really puts her down. I'm thinking that's a very that could be a potential good something that they could explore.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
that's true. When
how much better Star
needs to be shinier. She's like, oh,
it could be a good contrast over how Star treats. As much as we got on Star before, how much in comparison Star treats Marco compared to how much that the knight treats Higgs. Yeah, Stabby treats Higgs, and Stabby definitely seems like a very egocentric person. He seems like a very, I don't know. He seems like that type of character, like that dumb superhero who's just oblivious to the world, who everything works for him. You remember? He just seems like that type of character.
I think the best comparison is Zap Brannigan from Futurama. Like that's his kind of character.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Okay. Here's my thing, Steve. What I regardless of whether Higgs is good or not, like, look, she stands out from the random characters.
She stands out. That's already something.
But I don't know. I'm not convinced we'll see her or any of the Squires or Knights again. Why isn't this just a one-off episode?
Well, first of all, they're probably going to take a big part in this battle when we have Eclipsa and the trial and whatever to come up after that, wherever the fallout will be from that. And, we already know what's going to happen in the Monster Bash episode. So I do think there will be guards. There will be some action. So we should have the knights there.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have potential battles. Maybe they're there for the trial. I just don't know if the Marco's like continuing his squirehood, and that's how they'll play into the thing. Because I feel like this episode firmly establishes that it doesn't even matter that Marco's a squire. Like that's kind of the place we end up at the end of this.
But he could take it really seriously, and I do think, like Steve was saying, his desire to win over the other squires could be a real thing that he tries to do and go to extreme lengths to prove himself, because he's just like, he cares enough about it that he would go over the top for that kind of thing. I could see the show doing that.
I could see Marco kind of winning over all the other squires and all the knights except for Stabby. Stabby being a complete jerk, and that might be maybe get Higgs maybe just see Marco maybe in a new light a little bit. At the very least, maybe realize what a jerk her boss is.
Yeah. So I'd be fine seeing Higgs again. I don't know if I want to see the Knight Squires plotline again. Like I feel like I might be done with that.
I think what could happen, Dylan, is because the world hates us, is that we could replace the karate episodes with Marco training to be a knight episode, and have all this stuff again. And I don't want it either, but you know that could be something they do. Like
that's really true. That would fit the formula. Honestly, I really hated all the karate episodes, so I really hope that's not true.
Yeah. Did you cry when Sensei said goodbye, Michelle?
No, I don't care about Sensei.
Wow, so rude to Sensei. Jeez.
That's a good point, though. Are we just not going to visit anyone on Earth now for as long as Marco's visiting?
No, I think
we're not going to get anybody.
Yeah, we've said
if Jenna's off the show, I'm done.
He's out. Yeah. No, we said at last podcast that we think that Marco's parents and Jana are still going to be part of the show, but Jackie, Ferguson, Alfonso, obviously,
probably
and,
not.
Sensei.
Wait, no, I just realized. Just made this little comparison. Perhaps Higgs is sort of this could be another counterpart for Jeremy, though I think Higgs is a way better character than Jeremy. Jeremy sucks.
Yeah, where's Jeremy's goodbye? That's true.
Yeah.
So I given that she's a distinctive character model, we focused on her and she's voiced by Lauren Lapkus. I feel like that makes it that we'll probably see her again, Higgs, but I don't need to see this Night Squire plotline. I'm kind of done.
Higgs could also be, what was the name of the music guy that starred a crush on? That was Oscar or whatever?
Oh, Oscar, yeah.
This could be
where's our Oscar goodbye?
Yeah, who knows? So this could end up being like a side relationship.
Oh, do you see a romance between Higgs and Marco brewing? Can we name the ship? I'm always whenever there's a new character, I always want to name the ship first. So,
no.
Higco, or no, that's what's the co from Marco? Yeah, Higco, Migs, Margs,
Migs isn't too bad actually.
Margs
is not good. No, this is like a weird old lady.
Can you get some Margs? Yeah, Margs.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Is Marcus or
Margs.
Hicko?
No.
Hicko?
I think we've
These are awful for a reason. Stop shipping them right now. So
tell us in the comments whether you ship Margs or not. That's the new ship.
Oh,
Star was there was one thing when Higgs and Mark Star was kind of into it, not like them, but she was like into Marco doing like night things. Like she was like, oh yay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, also Higgs though she was a Starco shipper in this episode. She sees it.
Oh yeah, she said, you got the job handed to you because you're the princess's boyfriend. Yep. Higgs #1 Starco shipper.
So that's probably all from that song.
Yeah. She probably saw it on Song Day. Yeah, everyone is going to assume that. Mark and Star together.
And you know what? She and all the others, they're not wrong, really, about this.
Well, obviously Starco is canon. That's what you mean, Steve?
No, I'm talking about Marco getting preparation because of his connections.
Yeah, that's true. She was, it was because you're the princess's, crush. That's why. That's why. Just replace the boyfriend with that. Yeah. Crush and best friend and future soulmate. So there you go. That's instead of boyfriend. That's the current status of Marco relative Star.
But you better watch it though. She could be talking about the future king. Remember?
Exactly. Yeah, 100% the future king. Because as we all know,
this episode needs to get over his cape fixation if he's going to be future king.
That's your hang up
with power with this idea. Yeah.
Okay.
But that again wraps back to why this episode doesn't make sense. They were essentially beating up the princess. Like,
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I don't get it at all.
This is Quest Spy's 10,000th annual Squire blowout, and we had the sloths again. Yeah, it was fun.
Could use more of them though. They're funny.
Yeah, I like the sloth guy. Yeah.
Also, Higgs called Marco a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Star was like, no, it's like an endearing nerd.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. That's what that was me. What I was called all throughout like high school. Yeah, endearing nerd. Yeah,
endearing nerd.
Yeah, sure. That's what I told myself too. Star. Like,
Star's probably hanging out too much with Jana because probably Jana's called Marco a nerd endearing way many times.
Yeah, definitely. Jana says that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess what it is, Janet is endearing, but not with Higgs. Okay, okay. I guess Michelle, want to see Higgs again? Yes, no.
Yes, I do. I like Higgs.
Steve's yes. Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if we can get Higgs without any night stuff, yes. But
But she's just. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe should...
you mean like literally without her night or without any Squire shenanigans?
Yeah, just any of that. Yeah. Steve before said Higgs is the cute Lady Mime's sister. So that's a new it's a new theory. Like what is it? Jackie lives on with the mime, but
Jackie, why would she ship her with the mime? She said the mime was
she did.
Hot. So in a way, she said the mime was hot. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think I
a new Jackie ship.
Yeah. So there you go, Jackie ship. Nope, Jackie's not on the show anymore. We can't talk about her. Off the show. Okay, let's wrap up here. I'm out of Trial by Squire topics. Also, terrible pun name. So that's my comment on that episode title. But Michelle, any final thoughts on these two episodes?
I hope we don't get too many more like them in a row. I just really want something interesting to happen.
Yeah. Okay. More.
They were bad, but I would be fine if this was the low point of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if this was the worst of the season, then that's a good
season. The rest
would
be awesome. So,
Andy, final thoughts.
It's okay to have a bad episode title, but can you not mention trials in an episode title when we're waiting for a big trial to happen?
Oh, that's this is such a good point. Oh no, were you excited?
This is such a basic rule. Don't you can if it's a really good title, use it. I don't care. But I mean, if it's not even a good title, don't twist your audience around for no reason. It was complete. I kind of expected it not to be the trial, but it still didn't make the title better for the fact that it still mentioned a trial in it.
I read the synopsis on Star Wiki long ago, so it just...
if you didn't read the synopsis, I didn't remember the synopsis, so I speculated. I think last podcast that it was.
Even if you it doesn't make the title better if you have the synopsis with it. The title's still really a dumb idea when they're waiting for a trial to happen.
I mean, that's fair though. That's really fair. We are waiting for an actual trial.
Yeah, we'll see if it happens next time. Steve, final thoughts.
Well, like I said, if we have more Jana and less Tom, I'll be good. I'd definitely like to see more Higgs again. She seems cool. I am hopefully expecting maybe Eclipse and Star to hopefully have more talks together, and maybe Eclipse can influence Star in her opinions about the whole monster oppression going on. Because I'm waiting to do something with that. And personally, I felt the club snub. I felt they were a waste of time having a ball, but all the monsters are still suffering. Yeah. And hopefully Marco is more likable and less of a dweeb than he's been in the last few episodes.
Yeah, nerd as in this episode. Yeah. As said in this episode. Yeah, hopefully more likable Marco. We'll see. Don't know what to expect next. I have that next Monday's episode titles. Princess Turdina and Starfari. Okay. Like a safari.
Sorry. Wow, Starfari sounded like Star Toffee. Is that a weird crack ship you got there?
Like I think it's like Safari, Starfari. Okay. So those don't sound like the trial. So
but maybe that first one we might see Miss Heinous finally come back.
Okay, that could be Miss Heinous. I assume Princess Turdina is referring to Ponyhead, calling Marco that or something.
Oh yeah,
my God.
So if this means Ponyhead's there, I don't really care what it's. Don't care about the context of the episode as long as Ponyhead's there. That's my take.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Michelle, last thing I said yesterday's episode catapulted Ponyhead to the third best character on the show, only behind Star and Marco.
I really love Ponyhead.
Best non-star Marco character. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, she's been really good. That's one thing about this season. She's been there a lot, and it's always been good. Yeah. So that's fair.
Bring her back, and I keep teasing it, but we get the Ponyhead family episode next week too, so it's gonna be great.
Yay!
It's gonna be look at that. I think it's Wednesday. I'm most looking forward to that. Okay, so that's it for week 1 of Star. Thanks for sticking with us this whole week and listening to all this Star nonsense talk. Let us know in the comments whether you think #TomSpiracy is true. Let us know whether you want Higgs back, and let us know how Tom Star are going to be broken up, because that's what we're on watch for, because that's probably happening soon.
That's what Dylan's going to be on watch for. Correction.
That's what. That's in my head. They're already broken up, so don't worry about that.
I can't wait to eat too.
Down with Tom. Yep, that's.
Oh my god.
It's pretty funny that they're dating and he was in the episode for 5 seconds. Like, that's how unimportant he is, I guess.
That's how secure they are. You have to show them together all the time.
Look what happened with Jackie. She didn't get much screen time.
Tom is the new Jackie. That means he's being written off the show. Yep. You heard it here first. Okay, so let us know that in the comments. YouTube comments, website comments, overlyanimated.com, and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube or iTunes, Overly Animated Star, to not miss any of our upcoming Star podcasts. We're going to keep going every day of Starvember. Find all that at overlyanimated.com. But first, it is a Steven Bomb dropping tomorrow. So,
my God.
Oh, yeah. Do we know what time finally?
Nope. No. So, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Twitter says 6 p.m. But yeah, their Twitter says 6 p.m. We'll see. I don't believe them.
You were pretty chipper about that, Dylan, despite how soul crushing it is that we don't know.
Yeah, I have to make 2 plans for recording, so that's fun. Yes, Steve.
I'll be free tomorrow too, no matter what.
Yeah, we've all freed our Fridays to wait for the Steven Bomb to come out, and Cartoon Network's like, we'll see. So
we'll see. We'll see.
Wait, that's what's a few more?
It'll come out Saturday.
Yeah, it's Friday at 11:59. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so overlyanimated.com for all that. Make sure you don't miss any of that. Can text chat with us. Tell us your Star comments at overlyanimated.com/discord, our Discord channel. You can weigh in on the Tomspiracy there. I feel like that's the hot topic after this podcast, right?
The Discord's getting really active recently.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. A lot of talk in the Star Spoilers channel, so that's good. And then support us via Patreon, patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Mitch, aka Fever Mitch. And thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Andy. So many podcasts coming up, so just... and the 500th podcast is dropping tomorrow too. So just that's when we're hitting it. That's great. Find all that at overlyanimated.com. Thanks very much, guys, for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Right.
Bye. Bye.